And it's 8:01. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show here on the Big Dog, brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, Country Financial, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, Murphy Builder Supply, and First Southern Bank.
Most people understand the need for life insurance, but not many want to talk about why it's essential to your financial plan. It may seem intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. Don't get overwhelmed. Get started with Country Financial. Call me, Sean O'Quinn, today at 588-1051 and let me work with you to find life insurance that gives you the protection you need at a price you can afford.
Life insurance policies issued by Country Life Insurance Company and Country Investors Life Assurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings restaurant in Jessup is now open for business, practicing social distancing, but still serving that great food that Damon's is famous for. Come inside or come through the drive-thru, but Damon's is open inside and welcomes back its customers. The menu's the same, the service is fast, and the food is fantastic, and the sauces remain the same, mild, wild, insane, or inferno. The number is the same, 588-WING, 588-9464. Damon's Restaurant on West Cherry Street in Jessup, dining room now open for business. Come on in and enjoy a great meal today.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jessup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
When it comes to growing a family business, we understand the business of growing. At First Southern Bank, we've been meeting the needs of South Georgia farmers for over 100 years with competitive ag loan rates, including equipment loans, farmland loans, and lines of credit. First Southern Bank has all the banking tools you need to help keep your growing business growing. First Southern Bank. Investing in you since 1907. For loan rates and more, visit firstsoutherngA.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
Yes, it is the world-famous Butch and Bob Show for this April 27th. Good morning. Butch Hubbard here with you, along with Bob Morgan here on the show. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
You're getting all excited about baseball, aren't you?
Yep. I'm still counting down the hours and minutes.
All right. We got a special guest who knows all about it.
We got Coach Justin McDonald in the studios with us, head baseball coach. Again, the playoffs getting away tomorrow, Coach. It's been a fun season. Lots been happening for the Wayne County Yellow Jackets. Another region title in the books. You got your 200th win as a coach for Wayne County High School, which is a nice honor. But it's been a fun baseball team. It's a senior-laden group, 9 seniors on the baseball team, and the brackets are out. I've been studying the brackets. I got us playing Loganville in the Final Four and Locust Grove in the championship game.
Well, I hope you're right. It's been a fun year with 9 seniors. There's a lot of leadership with that group, and as I've said earlier in some interviews, that there was some times in the year where the season was kind of up in the air, where a lot of, I guess, especially that couple games in Atlanta where there was 2 innings of completely bad things happening, and those guys had a mindset in which direction it needed to go, and that's the way it went. And it's going to be fun to go these next few weeks with these guys and see where they could take us.
Well, the great thing is, like I said, none of this took place last year due to the pandemic. We missed out on all the state playoff action in high school baseball, but the state playoffs are about to begin, and everybody knows what the atmosphere is like at Howard Bell Warren Field with the rec department to have that grill going with the hot dogs, hamburgers, and sausage dogs, and the chairs will be set out, I'm sure, early tomorrow morning where people come and get their seat on that first base side. So tell us about the excitement that's building for this. Your kids getting excited as well?
They are. It's as you said, it's been it's been so long since we had a playoff game here. With not having anything last year, and I know for me personally, I'm very excited about it. Probably won't sleep tonight, but this time of year in Wayne County is special because it's you have to remind our kids it's not like this everywhere, and the amount of support that this program gets and athletics in general from this community is is unheard of, and that's why it makes this place so special to be a part of. And playoff time again. The chairs. I'll cut the grass before the game tomorrow, and I bet I'll see 10 or 20 people come in and put chairs or seats in the stands. And I'm excited about it. I know our kids are. We just gotta continue to focus on what we have to do to put something on the field that they can get excited for, and give them another opportunity to keep coming back.
Well, the one thing we're going to see is a good baseball team again. Wayne's got a rivalry with Jones County that dates back many years, but we played them in several years in the past. You're familiar with the team. You got a nephew that plays on Jones County. The Greyhounds are in that good baseball region, Ola. We're familiar with them. We played them several times. They're the number 1 seed, Locust Grove, who we played several years ago for that semifinal trip to Savannah. They're the number 2 seed. They're at home taking on Coffee. And then Union Grove is their 3 seed. They get our number 2 seed. So anyway, I'm trying to see. There, Union Grove takes on Ware County. Union Grove goes to Ware County tomorrow in Waycross, and then of course we've got Jones County. But tell us what we can expect from the Greyhounds. What kind of pitching they got? What are they, a hitting team? What's the scouting report on the Greyhounds?
Oh, they're real competitive. I know. Just talking around, they compete. Obviously that region's real difficult, so they kind of beat up on each other. So I don't think you can necessarily say that somebody the one, and obviously Ola separated herself as the one, but I think Jones beat Ola, and talking to some of those, Jones should have beat Ola twice. So again, it's one of those games where obviously it's not your true 4 seed. I know we were talking before. There's some teams in each bracket that a lot of teams are going to play 3 or 4 innings and it be over with. But as playing against a 4 seed, but I'd rather our guys be tested every round, and obviously Jones is going to be a great test, and we're looking forward to it. There's some tradition there going back to when we went up there in 2017 to start the season, and I think we lost on like a walk-off there late in that game. And I can remember telling our kids if that's the 4 seed that we match up with in the playoffs that year in the first round, then I'll feel pretty good about it. And obviously our guys did a little come from behind win that year in Game 3, but we got this team's a little bit. I think this team sets the tone early, and they like to kind of jump out. And I think somebody like Jones, the way they play the game, if you jump out in front of them and make them kind of play from behind, it kind of gets them out of their element.
And just joining us, Coach Justin McDonald in the studios with us, talking about the state players which get underway tomorrow. In the first 2 rounds, we'll be at home if we win round 1, because the next round will be against the winner Northside Columbus, which is a 3 seed, and also Forest Park is a 2 seed, so we're still 1 seed. So we're definitely hosting the second round, which will get underway on Monday of next week. Then after that, if you get a 1 and a 1, have they've done the coin flip already?
Well, I was looking at it when we talked about it, and I'm seeing that they did it on April 20th, and the top part of the bracket will be designated home team. So looks like if somehow we match up with another one, we'll be on the road on that week. But
Blessed Trinity's on the bottom part of that bracket too. So, but they would be the top team against us.
So I think that's how that.
So if it comes down third round between Blessed Trinity and Wayne, that would be on the road, but that would be Mother's Day weekend. Is that correct? They'd start the third round on a Saturday, Monday. Is that correct?
I'm going to try to have no comments on that. And I'll say 4A and 5A have totally different brackets than both single A's, double, triple, 6 and 7, and not real sure why. It's never been like that. And I've started going back to last week. A lot of coaches got on the phone, and especially 4A and 5A, and were complaining. I don't think a lot of people don't understand the grind that goes into a playoff series as far as the players, and you pretty much have to take a complete day off after a playoff series just from the intensity and everything that gets put into those 2 or 3 games. So there's not a lot of rest time in between some of those series, but we're going to have to do a great job with the coaching staff. Obviously, our number one concern is tomorrow at 4:30 and getting through that little piece and then move to the next one. But, everything else will take care of itself. And, we just got to focus on tomorrow and be ready to go at 4:30.
Yeah, definitely got to take one game at a time. Again, pitching is always the key. Our pitching's been pretty strong. Start with Tyler Dennison and Ray Townsend. They've been 1 and 2 most of the season. I'm sure we'll see both of those guys tomorrow. if game, and it goes. But the benefit is you've got a lot of arms in that dugout. So the question is, do you coach it a little bit differently? Like I said, do you have an early hook if somebody gets in trouble early, or what's your mindset as far as the pitching goes?
Oh, as always, I kind of stay away from the pitching and kind of let Coach Browning and Coach Hayes kind of handle that part of it. But I don't think necessarily we're gonna have to change anything. If our guys give us what they've given us all year, we're gonna have a chance to win every game. And I think one of the important things is just coming out and setting the tone early and finding a way to get strike one at the beginning of the game and set that tone. But I don't think there's necessarily that we would try to change the way we've been doing things all year. Now, obviously, the pitch count's a little bit different. They can throw 120 pitches in the series, so they can throw 40 in one, 40 in the other. It's just got to be a combined total of 120. So that's something that's changed. So if somebody did throw 110 in game one, they'll have 20 pitches to throw in game two or game three if they had to. So that's something that we can kind of use to our advantage if we need to.
Again, we talked about the pitching. It's pretty been strong. I talked about this team. They always say you got to build the team up the middle. You got a dynamic catcher back there, Jacob Brewer, blocking everything. Your shortstop, Blake Brockington, had a great year defensively. Aiden Hall is the dude. They've had a lot of double plays up the middle. Then you got Luke Boykin out there in center, who's having a phenomenal year. Probably, you look across the state, he's got to be up there as state player of the year. 12 home runs, a lot of extra base hits. So you tell me how many hits he has and how many runs he's scored. I mean, do you have his stats in front of you?
Oh, well, I can, I know he scored 47 runs, and he's only played, and I know we played 29. He didn't play in one game, so he played in 28 games, 12 home runs. I know he's got over 35 RBIs, and just that being able to do that and over 40 hits in 28 games is unreal. And he continues to find a way to do it, and that's why he's at the top of the lineup. We want to get him to the plate as many times as possible, and the guys behind him and even that bottom part of our lineup, they seem to be on base when he comes up, so they're doing their part of turning that thing over, and the guys behind him are protecting him by. Blake's doing an excellent job, Zach and Brewer in that 2, 3, and 4 to put pressure on him as well. So they feel like they can't pitch around him and go to them. So they're doing their job as well. And offensively, I think this is one of the better teams that I've been a part of. And obviously we just got to keep what we're doing, keep doing what they've been doing throughout the playoffs. And there's errors going to happen in the playoffs or things of that nature. You just have to hit to overcome them, and I think we can do that.
Smiley and I were joking during the broadcast against Warner Robins. Luke Boykin's come up so many times with bases loaded, so we're calling him Luke Bases Loaded Boykin because it's amazing how the leadoff batter would come up so many times during the course of the year with the bases loaded. He's got 2 grand slams, both against Glenn Academy, 12 home runs, having a phenomenal year. But your whole team seems to be hitting the ball, up and down the lineup. So that's been a nice, pleasant surprise, too. A lot of those kids have had good years at the plate. Zach Thomas had a good year at the plate. Miles Starlin has been a nice addition once he got back from the football injury. So he's provided some nice punch in there. But just talk about your overall team, their mindset. I tell people it starts with Brewer behind the plate. He just seems to be a leader, works well with all the pitchers and just has that grit and determination that nothing's going to get by him. I mean, it's amazing how he can block that ball behind home plate. There's no telling how many runs he has saved throughout the year.
Yeah, he's probably the one underrated guy that don't get a lot of credit, from the outside. Everybody wants to see the big plays in the field and the home runs and that nature, but he's been the one constant thing over the last 3 years is behind the plate. And running game, we don't have a lot of people, and that's one thing about Jones. They like to run, so he embraces that as a challenge, and I know he's going to do well back there with that, controlling that. But I think the mindset of this team, I know some of the best teams we've had come through here, they like to be around each other, and this group, they like to hang out with each other. All 26 of them, they like to be in there. And I heard one of them mention about Prime. It's just the baseball guys hanging out together. That kind of made me proud. Understand that they know the importance of what we're trying to do here, and not just baseball, just the family atmosphere of our locker room, and kind of basically a bunch of brothers in there that love each other and want to fight for the same purpose. And that's what makes playoff time so special. Is there's always going to be a couple guys in that mix that step out and do something you don't expect them to do. And we kind of got some ideas who them guys may be. They may be a sophomore, they may be a senior that hadn't got a lot of opportunity this year, but we're looking forward to everybody in that 26 guys to try to help us find a way to get to the end of this thing.
Well, senior night was a nice night. Yeah, I'm glad Warner Robins showed up, but the 9 seniors and their family were recognized for the ball or in between ball games. As the playoffs start, a lot of people asking what's the cost. I know GHSA comes in and says the cost of the ticket price for the doubleheader. What are they charging to get in the doubleheader?
It's $10 for the doubleheader, and then the if game will be $7.
Okay, so the if game Thursday would be at $7.
Yeah, $7.
And that'll be at 5 o'clock if there is game.
Correct,
so,
yeah.
But the doubleheader starts at 4:30. Like I said, a lot of people don't get off work till around 5:30.
Yeah.
But hopefully they'll come out there after they get off work. But should be a great atmosphere tomorrow night. Really looking forward to it. Again, Wayne County, Jones County, round 1. Again, the other region matchups. Your thoughts on the other region matchups? Union Grove, Ware County, Coffee taking on Locust Grove. Veterans, of course, not going to beat Ola. We know that. So, yeah. But what do you think about those matchups between Coffee and Locust Grove and Ware and Union Grove?
Well, I think just talking with I know we have a region meeting this morning at 10 o'clock. Was decide our all region team, but I think our region can win 3 of the 4 as well. I think Coffee is kind of one of those teams. They're just waiting to explode. There's a lot of talent on that team, and I think we kind of jumped on them early over there to start the region, and kind of set them back a little bit. But and Ware's playing probably the best baseball they played in a long time right now. Coach Ammons has done a great job getting those guys peaking at the right time, and I think they can make a little run in this thing with some of the talent that they have, but. You want to pull for the guys in our region to continue to keep 1-5A going, and I'm excited about getting to go tomorrow and compete against a good team. I know you spoke about having a nephew on the team. I guess it'll be my second time in the playoffs playing against family, but end of the day we're gonna have to do what we can do to try to win here in Wayne County, and
That's more difficult on your parents than it is you, right?
Yeah, more difficult on them, I'm sure. And heck, I'm talking to John Carson at home, and he was telling me, but I love Tucker. So that's Tucker Mix is the guy. So again, we just got to go out and play, and looking for a big crowd tomorrow. I think that's something that I've had people. I had a guy tell me that Coach Seegers at Loganville had mentioned that if teams have to go down to Wayne County, they're at a disadvantage. And
I've talked to a lot of coaches that talk about our atmosphere, how their kids are just intimidated when they walk in and see that big crowd because they don't play. We're so blessed that our community supports our programs like they do, because we said it all year long. We go on the road, we take more people on the road, we have more fans at the. Veterans was like that. When the veterans had more people than veterans had. I mean, same thing. Coffee, we had just as many people as they did. So. Hopefully, I'm sure a big crowd's going to show up tomorrow. It should be fun. But, again, hopefully these 9 seniors can help lead this team. Again, the rankings all year have had Blessed Trinity 1, Loganville 2. Has Loganville got that pitching like they always have again? Have you been able to talk to the other coaches about these teams?
They do. They always have it. I think they had a little mishap last week. They were projected to play them in Greenbrier to kind of play a 1-game deal for a region title. But they had to slip up against Eastside. Eastside's got 2 big left-handers, which they're up here in our part of the bracket. Hopefully they can maybe knock off a 1 seed up there somewhere. But, again, we got to worry about our little bracket. And I'll say, our coaching staff, with the guys that we have working for us or in our program, they've done an outstanding job all year. And, last week I had to miss a practice, had a little stomach virus, and it wasn't even a hesitation of me to make sure that I didn't pass that along to anybody in the locker room, and understand that practice was going to continue to go. And if there's something happened, I had to miss that game on Friday, it was going to continue to go as well. So we have a great coaching staff here that is working hard every day, and I like being around those guys. Some of the best times of my coaching this year is when we get to a ballpark, the 30, 45 minutes before a game, before we get going in our pregame routine, just hanging out with those guys, and you know that's some of the best times of my coaching career, is being able to do that with guys that you love to be in the locker room with, and that's what we have with our coaching staff and players right now.
I know you don't want to go a third game, but if it does go to a third game, do we have the advantage with our pitching depth?
I think so. I know this series we do. You know, I think we do overall in general. You know, we got guys that you know, our bullpen was, you know, we had, I don't know, probably an hour worth of bullpens yesterday of guys that could come in and get outs. And, you know, we got a freshman that we got dressing with us now, and we got a couple of sophomores that have pitched well in the JV. And, you know, I remind people, you know, back in, I think it was 18 or 16, you know, we were down 9-0 to Perry High School in Game 3 here, and you know, we rolled Jasper Dubberly out there to kind of fill innings, and he ended up shutting them out for like 5 or 6 innings, and we scored 10-1. You know, that was him. You know, he was in the dugout with us, and we threw him out there, and he was kind of, there's Jasper Dubberly right there. So, you know, there's a guy in our locker room right now that can be a Jasper Dubberly this year. You know, they just have to be ready when their name's called, and you know, I'm looking forward to every kid in there bringing something. Every kid in that dugout has a role. You know, they understand the role. They understand what it could be and what it could change to. So, you know, that's the important part of them understanding it and being ready when their name's called.
Well, we've seen a lot of kids throughout the course of the year on the mound for sure. I mean, a lot of pitchers, a lot of kids. Like I said, a lot of people have had roles on the team, like courtesy running or pinch hitting, things like that. So it should be fun. It all gets underway tomorrow. Like I said, I'm excited because, like I said, we didn't have it last year. You know, we missed out the entire baseball season, and you know, no state playoffs at all in the state of Georgia. But now it's good. Just curious, you know, if Wayne County is fortunate they get to the finals, where the finals set at?
Coolray Park in Rome, Georgia. So,
where's that?
Rome, Georgia.
Rome, Georgia.
I think it's the Rome Braves Stadium is where 5A and 4A are at the same location.
Okay, so
I'm not sure. I think the dates are right on that bracket. Maybe
May 20th, 21st is the date of the final, so that'll be interesting. So we'd go to Rome, Georgia. So what happened to Savannah? What will they do?
I think they got some of the single A maybe or lower classifications is in Savannah.
They bid on those things. Is that how that works?
I'm not real sure. You know, there's not a you know, if it was up to me, I would. My personal opinion would be to play them at the high schools.
Right, I would too. Yeah,
there's a lot of revenue and a lot of money that gets taken away from small communities being able to host those events that week. But you know, I think that's kind of the general consensus across the board with high school coaches. But again, I know the kids, they want to play in those atmospheres. But you know, that's not truly a high school atmosphere when you play in those big stadiums like that. Kind of takes away the high school atmosphere.
3-man umpire crew for the playoffs.
We do.
Where the association they coming from? Do we know?
You know, now they kind of mix them up. I know our crew chiefs from Augusta, and then we have a couple from down here. You know, I don't think you can have. I'm not completely sure, but I think you can only have one from your association that you use here. And I don't think this week. I know we don't have none from our association that we used in the regular season. So I think we got one from Augusta and then a couple from maybe Hinesville or Savannah. But
and GHSA, like I said, takes over. They've got all the rules and regulations. Apparently, I thought they switched. I know you told me if it goes to the third game, we are the home team in Game 3, but they still have the traditional, we're home team in Game 1, and Jones County will be home in Game 2. I thought they switched that too. So they lost that letter in the mail. That's what it is.
I you know, obviously there needs to be some advantages to.
I mean, I think if you're home team, you'd be home team. Well, what's their logic for that?
I'm not real sure.
I just can't understand their logic at all. So, but at least they flip. There's no more coin flip. So if it goes to the third game, we're definitely the home team in Game 3.
Well, yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I know it's difficult on us. You know, you'll be in the second game and you'll be looking up at the score and you forget sometimes that you're the home team or you're the visiting team, and then you got to go get them back out again. So
it's hard to be the visiting team in your own ballpark. Yeah. But anyway, that's the GHSA. Again, they've got some strange thinking, but anyway, so it'll be fun. Like I say, Coach, we appreciate you coming in. Again, it's been a great year, 24-5. We know what Jones' record is overall. I thought somebody said that it was 18-12. Is that correct?
I think that's about right.
And they were
16-12, 18-12,
something like that. Yeah. So, you know, like I said, you're going to see a good ball club. Like I said, I mean, this is no pushover by any means. We don't get one of those 4 C's. This is a good region. Ola, Union Grove, Locust Grove. I mean, we know what Locust Grove baseball is like. That's still a great. I mean, I was wearing my T-shirt the other day from that series. I mean, that was just I still remember. I still got the highlights on my phone. If I go back and look at that, when we got the base hit to win the game, the place went crazy. So,
which I know our kids, a lot of those kids that we have now, they were young then, but they remember that, and I've heard them just in conversations that if we can get to a situation where it gets back to that point where, I remember coming back that night and there was 500 people waiting at the stadium for the kids to get back, and again, that's what I'm excited about the most, is giving the community playoff baseball that they haven't had in quite some time.
I saw Mr. Nolan Crisp. He's now with the University of Georgia.
Correct. Yeah, he has a brother on that team too at Locust Grove.
His brother's playing on there. Is he a pitcher too?
I know he's a shortstop. I think he pitches as well. I think they got 3 or 4 Division I guys on that team. So
that was great. Who was the pitcher? Who was the other pitcher they had? Who was that stud? I'll never forget. Like I said, walked in there for that first game, and that old man had been there forever. And he told me, he said, don't have a chance in game 1. We got, and I think we jumped out like a 9-0 lead in the first inning. I took a break, walked in and said, I think we're doing pretty good. He didn't know what to say.
I can't remember. I know he went in the top 10 rounds.
That was a wild series. I still remember that like it was yesterday. So that's what's fun. Just creates memories for a lifetime. High school state playoff, nothing like it. So it all gets underway tomorrow. Again, the price again for the doubleheader is $10.
$10, yeah.
And then the fifth game would be $7. And again, that's, like I said, don't yell at the people at the gate. That's all determined by the GHSA. So I want to clarify that. So if you walk up there and you're upset about the price, don't yell at the people taking up the money.
That's correct. Yeah.
But again, how's the fun? Do we get all the concessions and most?
We get all the concessions, and then there's some percentages that obviously there's some. I think I'm not real sure on the percentage. I know a small percentage goes to Georgia High School, and then
we have to pay for their travel, things like that.
I think it's 60-40.
They always joke you make more money on the road than you do at home.
That's correct.
I mean, that's kind of sad, but that's just the reality of it. But hopefully the people come hungry, and like I said, that concession money goes to us. So hopefully people come and buy some hot dogs. And Speck and them are doing a great job. The rec department took over it. Did a great job. People ask, why did they take over? I said, because parents want to watch their kids play.
That is
it's hard to get volunteers, and it was always the same people in there, and they've been in there for so long. Now their kids are seniors. They're like, look, I want to watch the game.
That's right.
I think it was a good move. Worked out perfectly.
They do an outstanding job with it, too. Obviously our booster club, and, they do so much for our kids and our program that, those volunteers, those parents, they deserve to be able to sit there and watch their kid and not have to worry about that. So, I'm sure there was some negative things said earlier about it, but, I think it was a great decision for our booster club and the way they went about it. And, Speck and his staff are doing an outstanding job with it. But, I want to encourage the fan base. I want them to understand that when they show up and they are a factor in the game. I know some of them may think, well, I'm just showing up to watch a game, but every person there, they're a factor into it. I don't want to use the word intimidation, but sometimes when that kind of crowd there is, and when you see a pitch thrown and it's a strike, and you hear a bunch of noise, and that's a tough place to play when every pitch really matters. And as I told you, our job with the coaching staff is to kind of make this same as the scrimmage game at Vidalia for our kids. Obviously, it's going to be a little more difficult with the atmosphere, but we got to do a good job of having our kids keep their composure and stay in the game and not try to do too much.
The one thing I've noticed in all my years of covering, the regular season's one thing, but state playoffs worry me when you get these umpires, because you just don't know what the strike zone's going to be.
Yeah.
Some umpires are pretty lenient, where others have that minuscule strike zone where they make the kid throw it right over the heart of the plate. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of officiating we get, what kind of strike zone we get. So again, we got good pitching, got a good baseball team, 24-5, region champions, and it all starts tomorrow. Again, Sheffield has those region championship T-shirts, which are nice. I see a lot of people walking around town with those already. So
which I have you one too.
I've already got one.
I got a white one too.
Yeah, a white one too. But I'm excited. I can't wait. But appreciate you coming in, Coach. Again, hopefully we can get through this series tomorrow. And again, round 2 will be at home. People keep asking that question. If we do win this round, we will play the second round home, and that'll get underway on Monday of next week.
Yes, that's
It'll
correct.
be Monday, Tuesday?
Monday, Tuesday
next week. And again, we'll play the winner of the Northside Columbus Forest Park, which most likely will be Northside Columbus. A friend of mine from Columbus told me they got a pretty good baseball team, so they're expecting to beat Forest Park, and we're expecting to beat Jones. So hopefully next week on Monday we'll be taking on Northside Columbus here at Howard Bo Warren Field. But it all starts tomorrow, one game at a time. Good pitching. I guess we'll see Tyler on the mound in game one.
Yeah, he'll be there on game one.
Again, you said you're getting the all-region. You mentioned he's probably up for region pitcher of the year.
Yeah,
he's
got to be. I think he's.
I mean, he's been dominant all year long.
Yeah, and then Ray's right there behind him.
Right.
So I would venture to say Luke Player of the Year. I don't think there's anybody that's even been around the area.
I think he's got a chance to make state player of the year.
Yeah,
Coastal Empire for sure. I mean, I checked all around the state of Georgia. I can't find anybody who's got 12 home runs.
Yeah.
I found somebody with 8 and one guy with 10, but nobody with 12. Yeah. So that's pretty cool for a kid from Wayne County leading the entire state of Georgia in home runs.
And only being a junior too. That makes it even better.
He's got a bright future for sure. Coach, we'll look forward to it. We'll keep on promoting it, and we'll be there tomorrow afternoon. And again, if people can't make it out, they can catch it right here on Big Dog Country FM 105.5 and also on the World Wide Web. Jonathan will have it streamed, so anybody around the world can listen to it. I know we got a lot of people tuned in.
Yeah,
I've already had a lot of calls from a lot of alumni around it. Yeah. You're going to stream? You're going to live? Yes, we're live streaming the game. So
I know people. People rely on that. I know other coaches listen to our broadcast. I've had coaches say, "I heard your post game interview," and I think, "Why are you listening to Wayne County?" Because it's there's people take notice and they want to know what's going on over here, and again, that's a tribute to a great community, great players, and a great rec department that helps create these players, great middle school programs, and I know if you want to see something, go out and watch that junior boys field on Monday nights, and there's some talent out there with that group. Competing against each other every Monday night, and that's our middle school guys. A lot of those will be coming into high school next year. So, again, there's a lot of talent here, and we're reaping the benefits right now of a big senior class and them doing everything that was expected of them throughout their high school career, and now they get to try to seal it off with getting to the end of it.
Okay, Coach. Again, tomorrow 4:30, Howard Bo Warren Field. Can't wait. That's going to do it for today's World Famous Butch and Bob Show. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you, Coach. World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup, brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, Country Financial, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, also brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply and First Southern Bank.